Hello everyone. Welcome to this next topic of database components and elements. I hope you have seen the previous topic of three-layer architecture. This diagram you have seen earlier also. So we are now here and ultimately we are doing this topic RDBMS. So there are different techniques to manage your data electronically through computer, DBMS and RDBMS. We have seen certain definition of DBMS also. I hope you have written these things in your copy. We have seen various facilities provided by DBMs. Now it is time to see the various components that make up a typical DBMS. Now, by component, we mean that what are the various things that are part of every DBMS, just like an operating system. As you know, an operating system has file manager, memory manager, uh, CPU scheduler, and so on. So these components are present in every operating system. So similarly, there are number of DBMS available in the market. As you know, there is Oracle database, okay, there is MySQL database, okay, there is MS SQL server, which is also known as SQL server, there is IBM DB2, this is MongoDB, there is MariaDB. So there are hundreds and thousands of databases available in the market developed by different companies. Although these all are different in certain features, but some of the things are common. Just like you have different type of cars available in the market, but all of them have certain similar common things like engine, clutch, gear, reverse, steering. So the meaning of all these things is same in all. So if one car has reverse, the same function will be done by other car in reverse. So no car can go in forward with reverse function. So similarly, in DBMS also certain standards are followed by all the companies, and all of them are based on, you know, you must be learning based. They all are based on SQL. So SQL is common in all these packages. Okay. So only what can be differ? Some features can be different, like you can find different features in different cars, but all of them have steering, brakes, doors, clutch, gear, acceleration, and so on. So similarly in DBMS, different companies can name their database differently. They can call their component differently, but somewhat they are similar. So on the same note, I am covering this topic. So first of all, see this diagram in one screen, then we will make it large. So a typical DBMS is made up of these components. You can see these are the users who can interact with DBMS. This you must have seen in your previous video. Type of DBMS users. Number one was simple users, end users. Number two were developers or people like you, application programmers, and DBAs. So these three type of users can interact with the DBMS through different ways. They can interact through application. They can interact directly through query. A DBA can directly change the schema. So whatever is the case, uh, different type of users can interact with DBMS in different ways. Okay. Now let us see it a little bit wider so that it is clear to you and we can study these components further. So what you can see is the dotted outer line is actually the complete portion which is in RAM when you load your DBMS. Okay, so uh, you can interact with DBMS through application interface, application program, or direct query. See, these arrow might be going from here to here, but all of them are quite similar. And since it is not, we cannot show every arrow from here to here to here. Otherwise, the diagram will be cluttered. But uh, every user interact in the similar way. So let us see certain component. First of all, there are DDL and DML pre-compilers and compilers. Now, what are the roles of these compilers and pre-compilers? They check your query. For example, it is very easy. See, as soon as you type certain query, suppose you type select star from student. Now, I have deliberately given the wrong spelling of from. So, what will happen as soon as you will press enter? Now what we are doing? We are doing this part. We are directly sending a query. Okay. So now, but although this arrow is from here, but actually the query passes to DML precompiler or DDL compiler depending upon the type of query. So as soon as you type a query, it goes to these compilers and the compiler checks from any kind of error. So as soon as you press enter, what will happen? It checks the query and tells that query is wrong because the spelling of from was incorrect. So what is the role of these DML and DDL precompiler? They check your query before processing that whether it is syntactically correct or not. Okay. Next is your query processor. Now see what is the role of query processor? The most important role of query processor. Suppose you have given a correct query, select star from student. Now first of all it will be checked whether it is correct or not. Then it will be checked that is there a table called student. So uh, see you can understand that your data is stored somewhere in the hard disk and is stored in some internal encrypted format. But to user it should be displayed correctly after checking the permission given to the user. So internally this query executes in a larger code. There is a code behind this query. That code needs to be executed. So what does that query processor do? This query processor processes this query internally and converts it into internal some kind of executable code. And that code processes it, brings your data from the hard disk and display it to you in a very fast speed. So as soon as you press enter, you can see the data. But this data has come through a number of steps or processes. Okay. Again, I will cover up this topic, some interesting fact about it, but I hope you have understood that what is the role of query processor. Query processor converts your query into some internal format so that the code behind this query can be executed. Okay. And it also optimizes the query, it performs, it identifies the best query execution plan, etc. Now, after this query is processed or converted into internal format, it is passed to the database manager. The database manager, what does database manager do? Database manager checks many things. The database manager checks that whether this query, this table is present or not, whether the user who is trying to view this query has the permission to do it or not, and whether this user can view the query or whatever operation you are doing. So all these things are checked by database manager. Now how database manager will do it? This database manager will do with the help of a concept or a thing called as data dictionary. I will cover it up in detail, but data dictionary is something which tells the database engine about certain permissions, about certain grants and other types of things that are stored within the database. So that is why direct arrow has been shown that for every query database manager consult data dictionary. Okay, and this can be a two-way arrow where data manager consults data dictionary, the results gets and then it transferred to the file manager. Now, what is the role of file manager? You can very well understand. For example, if a user does not have a delete permission and he tries to delete from test, okay. So if user, first of all, you need to check that whether this user has a permission or not. So these permissions are stored in data dictionary. Okay. If the user has permission, the data will be deleted. Okay. So now all these things I am talking about since the beginning of the lecture, that your data is stored in the hard disk, it is stored somewhere. So all these things are done by file manager because ultimately your data is somewhere stored in the data files. You must understand this. Okay. For example, whatever table you have created, it is not created in RAM. Okay. It is created somewhere in your hard disk. So where it is stored, where it is created, now we will see that portion. It is important and critical, so please try to understand what I'm trying to show you. I hope you have understood up to this now that what are the major components and how database works. Now this portion that you are seeing, you can imagine it as your hard disk, or you can imagine it is as your secondary storage. Okay, so you can take it as your hard disk drive, or you can take it as your secondary storage. Or one important thing that will come in future is your stable storage. It is basically your stable storage. In many books you will find this word, stable storage. Now what is this stable storage? Actually, if stable storage is a storage which is assumed to be always intact and correct. So, which is free from any kind of failure. So that whenever you pass certain query, your data is displayed. Okay. So you secondary storage, hard disk, cloud, you call it cloud, you can call it whatever you call it. It's all same. Okay. So ultimately your tables that are created, and this is your RAM where your database engine is load load loaded. So there that division there are two parts. Sorry, query processor and storage processor, and they are made up of number of subcomponents. Now, what does file manager do? See, uh, as I've told you just now, ultimately your data is stored in data files. Okay, let us try to see it now. See, you are typing select star from tab. What you can see these list of tables. But if you try to find out these table in your computer, for example, you try to find out department here in Windows, you will not be able to find something called as department in your system. Although there can be some file with the name department, but that department will not be your this department table. Okay, so if you try to find out certain department in this uh, computer, so you will not find anything related to department. Okay, so what I mean to say is that DBMS internally stores tables in a different way, and you will not be able to see it at operating system level. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of this operating system level? Let us come to it. It is very important. So, what is the meaning? Tables are not visible at OS level. OS level means outside this Oracle, you will not be able to find your table. Okay, your table will not be found here anywhere in A drive, B drive, C drive. You will not be able to find your tables. Okay, because Oracle has stored in such a way, secured way that you cannot go to some directory and copy those table and take it in a pen drive. But you must understand that ultimately they are stored somewhere. Okay, but they are stored somewhere. Okay, now what is that somewhere? Let me show you. So when you install Oracle, it goes into C drive, it goes to Oracle folder. In Oracle folder there is a folder called as product. In product you have 10 version. Since I have installed Oracle 10, so it is something like 10.2. In your system it can be a little bit different if you have installed 11 or something else. Then you have again 4 folders: admin, db1, flash recovery, and aura data. Now in this aura data folder you will find some files in certain name. That name is ORCL. I will cover it up. What is this ORCL? It is actually a database ID through which your database is identified. Don't worry. Now in this folder you will find these files. There are three type of files you can see. There are .ctl files, which are control files. Okay. There are .log files, which are log files, and there are, you can see, dbf files. Okay, .dbf. So there are database files. Okay, these files contain your actual tables. So you can see a table called as user. Now you can see this file is of 32 KB. Similarly, there is file called as system1. It is 500 MB. Now, whatever table you have created till now, they are they are present in this dbf file. Now this is what I was talking about OS level. OS level means at operating system you will find this file, and in this inside this file these all tables are stored, but you will not be able to see them from outside. Select star from tab. Okay, let me show you one more interesting example. Show user. This is what? This is MC 2020. Select star from tab. You can see these 19 tables. Now suppose if I log in with some other, now I have logged in with some other user. Show user. You can see test. Select star from tab. Now you can see much more number of tables, 165 tables. Now let me show you one more. Now I connect with system. Connected. Again I will type the same command. Select star from tab. Now you can see 163. So this user has 19, this user had 165, this user has 163. Now all these tables are stored under specific users. Okay. So Oracle can distinguish them very easily, but all these tables are actually inside these files only. But from outside you will not be able to see them. Okay. Moreover, there is a security that although you can copy it and send to pen drive, but you cannot open it in any other system as like this. No hacker cracker in this world can open these files and go into these files and find out the data stored in the tables. There is only one way: proper login, permission, grant, password. Then only you can see the data. Okay, because ultimately the data has to be stored somewhere in the hard disk. So in DBMS it is being shown to you in the form of a table, but technically it is stored in operating system in the form of a file. How that file is created, it is every this is proprietary work of every company. Oracle has done it in this way, that they are stored in system, TAM or user table and file. Okay, so although you know this, but you cannot see any content from here. So all these thousands of tables, they are highly abstracted. Okay, uh, they are visible only to the user who is logged in. As you can see, there are three users. So these three users are able to see their tables only. They are not mixed. Okay, I hope you have understood what I am trying to tell. So this is a very important and critical concept that you must have understood, that data files. So what are your data files? Data files are your actual physical storage of your tables, which are stored in your hard disk, or you call it as secondary storage or stable storage. So that is why this arrow is coming. So file manager is that component of your DBMS that talks to operating system and brings your data from and to the data files. So whatever query you fire, it processes or goes through these stages. You fire a query, it goes to the compiler, it checks, then it goes to query processor, it converts it into internal code, then database manager checks the permission, then it gives to file manager. The file manager talks to data file, then the data is just sent back, and then it is displayed to the user either on the application program or on the screen or query or whatever window you are using. Okay, indexes are certain that helps you to increase your search speed, that we will see later on, that how index can be created. If you are firing a query again and again and you want to increase the speed, then the indexes can be used. So these indexes are again stored on hard disk. So this data dictionary, indexes, data files, they all are part of your secondary storage. And these remaining are your components of your database engine. So this engine or this diagram is not of any particular product. It is not of Oracle, not DB2. It is a general diagram. So most of the DBMS are made up of these components only. Okay. I hope this thing is very clear to you now, and kindly practice. See it again. Make notes. Thank you very much. See you in next video.